With a brand new Pixel Gun 3D update, you know what that means. A brand new Trader's van. Today, with my friend Humphrey, what we are going to do is test out the 3 brand new weapons in the Trader's van in Pixel Gun 3D. Despite the chaos of gigantic monsters trying to take over the freaking world, and Humphrey not wearing his mask correctly. Seriously, when is this dude ever gonna learn? We are going to triumph through everything, and we are going to see how powerful these weapons actually are. This is, of course, a few days before the Battle Pass comes, and you do know I'm going to be reviewing that when that comes. But for right now, I hope you guys are excited for today's video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more Pixel Gun 3D content, and with that being said, Humphrey, let's do this. So, hey, I have enough gems. I'm just gonna buy these right now. There we go. And we got ourselves a reward. Ah! What is that? Humphrey, what happened to you? Humphrey changed into a female. Well, I guess Humphrey is no longer with us for the moment. Leave a like if you want Humphrey to come back next video, okay? I'm such an idiot. But hey, we got ourselves 3 new weapons here. They are a special, a sniper, and a heavy weapon. I'm going to put on some modules, and we're going to see what these weapons are capable of. For our first weapon of choice, we have the Restructurer, which, as you can see here, is a charged shot special weapon with a stream beam, and the killed target explodes. So anybody else that's nearby, oh, they're going to get some damage too, because that enemy explodes. Our special weapon is the Dimerian Divider, which, I gotta say, looks so cool. The fact that it, like, comes apart and then goes back together again. It's so freaking cool. It is a laser sniper rifle with critical damage and an 8x zoom. Looks extremely powerful. And then lastly, we have the Atomic Splitter, which is a rocket heavy weapon with area damage and super punch. All 3 actually look extremely powerful. They're all mythical at level 65. And with that being said, let's jump into some gameplay. Alright guys, so here we are now. We just spawned into Block Mart for the very first time. We are going to be testing out the Restructurer. And before you go off and try to buy this weapon, I want to say point blank, I've used this for about 45 minutes or so, and I have some pretty mixed opinions about it. What you're seeing right here is my best gameplay that I've gotten in about 45 minutes or so with this weapon. And if you think, oh, the gameplay is maybe not the best in the entire world, maybe that's something that you want to consider. Now, this is a very unique weapon, don't get me wrong. There aren't many other weapons in Pixel Gun 3D that have this special ability, this charge-up shot, and then you let go, and it has this thing called a stream beam. One of the other weapons that has this is the Dragon Energy Emitter from a couple of updates ago. If you have that weapon, then I'm going to flat out say right at the very beginning, you don't need to get this one. Very similar to that, and if you like that weapon, well, you're going to be getting pretty similar gameplay with the Restructurer. It looks really cool. I love the particle effects that actually, like, get zapped into the weapon with this cool little glowing pinkish purple color. It looks cool, don't get me wrong, but there are some problems that I've noticed when I've used the Restructurer. It's very inaccurate, and when you start to use this weapon at a long range, you'll notice that the beam doesn't even hit players. Like, if you wanted to go all the way across Block Mart, good luck, it's not going to hit them. Whereas a primary weapon or a sniper could pretty easily kill somebody from a pretty decent range away. You're not going to see that with the Restructurer. And multiple times in this video, you'll notice that it's pretty inaccurate at range. Like right there. That was a perfect example of how the beam was directly hitting the enemy player, and it did not get any hit markers at all. I don't know why that's the case. I feel like this weapon would actually do a little bit better if it was more geared toward long range, but unfortunately, because of that, you have to use this weapon at close range, and unfortunately, if you're going up against a bunch of noobs with area damage weapons, good luck. You're probably not going to take them out with this thing, because as you can see, it takes a lot of shots. You gotta get those headshots on enemy players, and if somebody has something like the Proton Freezer, how are you supposed to take them out? You can't. You got to get all those headshots. It's a ridiculous amount of headshots to take somebody out. And keep that in mind. I have my modules on. I have this at level 65. It's mythical. It's maxed out to the most that I can max this weapon out. And I'm still pretty easily noticing that it's pretty underpowered compared to a lot of the other weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. The sad truth is, with this game, all of the area damage weapons are always going to be much better, and this one just simply cannot compete. And I'm noticing in Block Mart, it's kind of frustrating when you use this weapon here. You might have a different opinion when you start to use this weapon, but in all honesty, I would definitely hold on, save your 400 or whatever it is amount of gems, and you might not want to consider buying this thing in the trader's van. If you remember the Dragon Energy Emitter and you thought, yeah, that's not the best weapon in the entire world, it's very similar to this. And if I were to rate this weapon between 1 and 10, I'd probably give this like a 7.5 out of 10. You could get some decent gameplay if you're lucky and you don't have a bunch of noobs with jetpacks and area damage weapons all over the place. If you can find a more regular match where you have some more average players who are using primary weapons and melees and backups, kind of like how Pixel Gun used to be, then yeah, this weapon would do very, very well. But in all honesty, there are other laser weapons that I would recommend before this one. If you can max out the Dragon's Breath, or the Frostbeam spell, or what is it called? The Freeze Ray Rifle? Weapons like that, those laser weapons are much better than this one. And, you know, it's right up to the fact that you can kill somebody the second you press that firing button. With this weapon, it's not the case. You have to charge it up and then let go. And for those few seconds when you're using it, you're completely immobile, and somebody's probably going to end up killing you. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10. But we got to move on to our next weapon here. This is the sniper weapon that came in the trader's van in this update. It's the Dimerian Divider. And in very stark contrast to the special weapon, the Restructurer, I actually really like this weapon a lot. This is probably my favorite weapon so far. It's a fantastic weapon. It's a good, solid, a lot of times one-shot headshot weapon. If you get the proper modules, I think it might even be a one-shot headshot to everybody. But sometimes, with my weapon not being completely perfectly upgraded, it is going to be a two-shot headshot. So for a lot of you guys who don't have maxed out modules and stuff like that, you're looking at about a two-shot headshot, powerful sniper rifle that has a decent firing rates, and I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. The only thing that's kind of disappointing with this weapon, I guess we could say, is it's very similar to a lot of other weapons that already exist in Pixel Gun 3D. If you've used any other snipers recently that have been a two-shot kill, a two-shot headshots, maybe even a two-shot body shots, you're looking at a weapon that's very similar to that. I mean, I got a Fury kill, so it's not like it's a weapon that's very underpowered, but it's just overshadowed by so many other sniper rifles that have very similar stats to this weapon. It doesn't have the most crazy special abilities in the world. It's a laser. Yeah, I know, that's cool. It's like the prototype, right? And we all love the prototype. But it only has critical damage and an 8x zoom. No special ability, no poison, no burning effect, nothing else. It's just a laser sniper rifle that's a two-shot headshots if you don't have it maxed out, and probably a one-shot headshots if you max this thing out to the absolute max. Still powerful, still a lot of fun, and honestly, I think I get better gameplay with this weapon than all three of the weapons in this video. It's a really fun weapon to use, and I would go as far to say that if you're somebody who's watching this who is not very accurate at this game, like, you're sitting there, you're watching this video, and you're like, bro, I suck. I can only use area damage weapons. I'm not accurate at all. Whenever I use a sniper or a primary weapon, I just really suck at the game. This might be a weapon that's going to help you with that, okay? If you're very inaccurate, you miss a lot of your shots, kind of like me in a way, then this might be a weapon that you can actually use on a consistent basis to get more accurate gameplay. And I can easily attest to this. After about 45 minutes of gameplay, I, got into the groove of this sniper rifle. The Demarian Divider sort of, became easier to use, and I became more accurate when I used this weapon. Now, that's not to say that's going to happen with any of the other sniper rifles. Of course, that's probably going to be the same, but if you don't have a sniper already pretty similar to this, then why not? It's like 400 gems or so. If you have 400 gems, you might as well get this thing. I just would be cautious if you already have snipers that are very similar to this. Or if you have a sniper that's a one-shot headshot, then you might not want to consider getting this thing. Like, if you already have the Morgana, and that's like your go-to sniper in Pixel Gun 3D, or maybe you like the sniper dude that I reviewed recently that has a bit of a faster firing rate, and you just don't see how this weapon is that much more powerful, yeah, you're probably right. And you probably don't want to spend your 400 gems on this. If I were to rate this weapon between 1 and 10, I would give this weapon probably an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. A good solid rating, and, you know, this weapon is just pretty much the ultimate weapon for longer ranged, medium range combat. Like Checkmate here, this is pretty much one of your best maps for these snipers, and that's why I'm actually in Checkmate for this weapon. I would have originally gone into something like Pumpkin Island or maybe even Slender Forest, but those maps suck for this type of weapon. You're not going to do well with the sniper rifle in those maps. Those maps are dominated by area damage weapons and kids with jetpacks, using those types of one-shot kill area damage weapons. You don't necessarily find that as much in Checkmate. It's much more open, big open spaces where you can actually use your scope properly and take people out at a longer range. Of course, as you can see, yeah, there are a lot of times where you get too close to people because the spawns suck in Pixel Gun 3D. That's something they still have not fixed. And you might have somebody spawn directly on top of you, and you can't really do much about it, but that's where you would switch over to your heavy weapon, or your primary weapon, or something like that. I'm just using this weapon only for the video for the sake of actually reviewing it and showing you guys what this weapon is capable of at long range, medium range, and even close range. Because I gotta tell you, it is so satisfying when you kill people at close range with this thing. It's fun, and I would recommend this weapon over the special weapon that we looked at a little bit earlier. But we gotta continue on here, and we gotta talk about the final weapon of this video. This is a heavy weapon called the Atomic Splitter. And you'll notice pretty quickly on that, just like with the sniper rifle, this is very similar to a lot of the other heavy weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. It's a rocket, area damage, super punch weapon. Okay, the super punch is pretty cool, but still, this weapon is going to be a two-shot kill to basically everybody that you go up against. I've even seen people with that gem special ability and maxed out armor, and it's still like a pretty consistent two-shot kill to take those people out. I like that this weapon has a very, very fast travel time. You can actually use this heavy weapon at a pretty long range, like right there, for example. The guy was literally taken out from the helicopter. A lot of the other heavy weapons can't really do that. Like, we take a look at something like the Corn Launcher or the Easter Bazooka, which is very similar to the Corn Launcher. And some of the other ones, those ones you really gotta use at a super, super close range. But that's not really necessarily the case with this thing. I would almost go as far to say that I would recommend using this heavy weapon more for medium range than for close range. The reason is because when you go up against people at close range, they're literally only going to be using one-shot kill area damage weapons, and you're using a two-shot kill. This thing is going to be at a disadvantage to the other people using one-shot kill weapons. So, hey, you got to keep that in mind. If you go at medium range, you're going to have more people using snipers, you're going to have more people using backups and primaries and stuff like that, and you have a bit more time to take them out with that two-shot kill using this weapon here. But in general, when we talk about the Atomic Splitter, yes, it looks cool. Yes, it has a neat blast effect. I like the design. I like some of the other stuff to it, but it's just not that much different to so many of the other heavy weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. It's overshadowed by those one-shot kill area damage weapons like the Sunbeam, for example, and in all honesty, you don't necessarily need this thing. I'm sure you already have a heavy weapon like this, but I guess if you don't have a one-shot or a two-shot kill area damage weapon yet, then you might want to consider getting this. That's the only way I would recommend this weapon. But if you already have two-shot kill area damage heavy weapons, or even a one-shot kill heavy weapon, then I would not recommend getting the Atomic Splitter. As cool as it sounds, as neat as it looks, it is not something that I would recommend for you guys. It's cool, it's powerful, and if I were to rate this thing out of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. Definitely not the most powerful heavy in the world, but it's certainly not, like, exceptional to the point that I would recommend this over everything in Pixel Gun 3D. A little bit of a bummer, but hey, you know, not every single weapon can be extremely OP. And in all honesty, that basically wraps everything up. I want to just use these 3 weapons together for the last couple of minutes here in Pumpkin Island. I want to say, real quick, that Pumpkin Island sucks now. You're going to just see countless noobs using area damage and jetpacks the entire time. And it sucks. It really, really sucks. Pumpkin Island was one of my favorite maps back in the day in like 2015, but the fact that there are so many OP weapons in Pixel Gun 3D now makes it so it's just not as enjoyable anymore. It's kind of like Silent School. I don't like going in the Silent School anymore. Too many one-shot kill weapons. You die too quickly. It's just not as fun. But talking about these 3 weapons here, the Trader's Van weapons of the 18.2.0 updates, the whatever it's called, like the, I don't even remember the update. I'm going to just say the Halloween update of 2020. I would only recommend the Dimerian Divider out of the 3 weapons. Even still, I might not even recommend the Demarian Divider. You could honestly go quite comfortably not buying a single one of these weapons, and I would really not say that you're missing out on pretty much anything in Pixel Gun 3D. If you're watching this and you're tight on gems, you can't spend hundreds and hundreds of gems every single update, you don't have a lot of money to spend, then I would not recommend getting any of these weapons. Skip this Trader's Van and wait for the next one when there are more powerful weapons in the Trader's Van. There have been more powerful weapons in the Trader's Vans in the past. I can say, like, the Project Marlin, for example, is a fantastic Trader's Van weapon that came out a couple of updates ago. Same with the Project Dolphin. These 3 weapons are not. They're about an 8 out of 10 for the trio. It's just average weapons in Pixel Gun 3D and not worth the hundreds and hundreds of gems that you will spend on them in Pixel Gun 3D. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, though, and I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I hope I saved a couple hundreds of gems for you guys. If you guys did enjoy and you're happy that you didn't waste your money on these weapons, then comment down below and leave a like on this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe for more Pixel Gun 3D content coming out very, very soon. I have a lot of cool stuff coming out regarding this new updates. I'm going to be reviewing the new Battle Pass weapons when they come out in, like, what? Is it 4 days or so? Something like that? Very, very shortly. And then any of the other weapons that come out pretty soon. I'm thinking about doing one of those noob spends a bunch of money again and gets all of the crazy lottery weapons from this update, like that really cool scythe stuff and stuff like that. If you want to see everything new from this update, then I'll link the entire update review down below in the description. You definitely don't want to miss that, I should say, not mess that. You don't want to miss that. That was actually an example of this thing being a 3-shot kill. Very interesting. Okay. It's generally a 2-shot kill, though. That's from my personal experience. But, yeah, that's basically it, guys. I hope you all did enjoy this video. Make sure to leave a like, as I said, and we're out of time. So, I will see you all later.